Hello, Amy White with Worthy Written Words. Today we're going to be in our Old Testament wide margin journaling edition, and because I'm using this paperback, it's going to be kind of hard or awkward to be so close to the beginning of the book. So what I'm doing is I am attaching this to another book that is the similar or same size right next to it to kind of hold it in place so that I don't have to deal with it being at an awkward angle and it can lay flat. And I'm just using these tools, and I can't even remember where I got these. You could also use like chip clips type of closing mechanisms. Now, using the clear gesso that's in your kit and a foam brush, I am putting a layer of this on my page and smoothing it out really well. I don't want it to be super thick on my page because then it's going to leave a lot of brush strokes that are visible. So I am trying to smooth it out so it's really absorbed into the page and not a lot of it gunking up or being just really thick. And then you need to let that dry all the way. And if you have other page toppers that are getting in the way, you can remove them like I did so that you can have a cleaner space to work on. And what this clear gesso does is it prevents any heavy wet media, like we're going to be using water, watercolors, to bleed through the page onto the back side. So if you're going to be using a lot of water, you might even want to do 2 coats and let it dry in between. I only do 1 coat, but we do end up using quite a lot of water, so you can use your discretion. It didn't bleed through on mine with 1 coat, but you may want to use more water than I end up using. And I've put a piece of scrap paper behind my page just to protect the other pages in front of it from getting this clear gesso all over it, and also to help with the watercolors that we're going to be using next to prevent them from getting on the pages underneath it. Then you're going to want to let this dry. You can either let it air dry, or if you have a heated tool, you can blast that on it for a couple minutes to get the page really nice and dry before we head on to the next step. Now I'm going to be adding this scrap paper around all the different sides so that as we use the watercolors here in a minute, it's not going to get on the other pages. Now I'm using my stencil and a pencil, and I'm going to put it so that the 3 biggest stars on the stencil are in the middle of the page. There's 3 really big stars, 3 medium-sized stars, and 3 small stars on the stencil. So we're going to use a combination of all of them, but I'm starting with the biggest ones first. And I'm also adding it so that one of the biggest stars is in the chapter heading so that it's not necessarily covering up more of the scriptures. But I do want to say, when this is all said and done, I will be able to read all of the scriptures on this page. Even with the black marker on top, my brain can easily read through and see what it's saying underneath. So if you're worried about that, just keep that in mind. If you don't want to cover up the words, another tip that you can do is to stop the pencil and the pen when you get to the words and only fill in the stencils in between the letters, and your brain will still be able to make sense of what like the star is supposed to be, even if you're not covering up the word portion. I have a sister that does that, and it looks great for her too. So now I'm adding in medium size and smaller size stars up above, and then I'm going to do this all the way down my page, and this is really just up to you and where you want them to be and the angle you want them to be. You can flip the stencil over so it's not the exact same shape that you're repeating, because it'll be flipped horizontally. So you can just fill this in with as many or as little stars as you want. But I'm also not going to be putting stars on the side because that's where the words are going to go. So I'm only putting the stars on the 2/3 of the page on the right side. So everything but the margin. Now we're going to go over those pencil lines with the black Jelly Roll pen that's in our kit. Next, we're going to be using an eraser. And now I recommend one of these gum erasers over a regular pencil eraser because sometimes the red pencil erasers will leave red marks on your page. So I'm using a gum eraser. They're really cheap. You can get them at any craft store, probably even Walmart. And as I'm erasing the pencil underneath, it's also erasing a portion of the ink. You can see that it has lost some of its darkness, which you may actually prefer. But I'm going to be going over all of this again to add a second layer to these stars in a little bit. So when you are doing this part, you're going to want to make sure that the black ink of your Jelly Roll pen is really dry, because if not, then it's going to smudge. But even if it smudges, you might be able to still erase it up because it's kind of all just resting on top of that pencil lead. And now I'm going to be taking a cup of water and a large paintbrush, and I'm just going to add water to the page. And I'm going to add it around all the stars, but not over the stars. I'm just going to add it in between the black marks. And this next step is going to be a little tricky. You're going to be adding some watercolor, and you want to keep it outside of the stars. So you can spread it around anywhere except for the inside of the stars. So now that I have a bunch of water on my page, I'm going to just add some of the magenta watercolors, and it's going to just blend really well because it's going on a wet surface already. So you can do it as light as you want, or you can do it even darker. I kind of am going with more of a lighter feel because I want it to be a light pink on this page. And also, when you add this in, I'm not doing the entire page in pink. I'm just randomly doing it in certain spots on the page. And I'm going to put blue on the other spots that I am working on. And you can add water if the page kind of gets dry in between before you go ahead and add the watercolor, but just kind of push it right up to the star and then keep it from going inside. If it does go inside the star, you can use some like plain water on a paintbrush to push it back out, and it'll kind of soak it up and it can move it out of the way of that star. So I'm going to now switch to blue, and I'm going to do blue in a different area of the page. You can be using a water brush like me, or just a regular paintbrush will do. You just want to keep the paintbrush really wet and the page underneath it really wet when you're doing this. And I'm using this scrap page to protect the page next to it as the watercolor kind of falls down onto that page, and then I'm moving the scrap paper around so that it'll keep the wet paint off of the page next to it. Then I'm going to let this whole thing dry. And I don't do this because I want to keep these colors pretty light. But if you want, you can dry the whole page and then go over it again with the colors in the same spots to make it darker and add a little bit more depth. But that's just a personal preference. If you want to have it be light like mine, or if you want it to be darker, then you can add more layers. Also, if you get a spot like I'm getting on this left side where the water is puddling in a certain area, you can take a paper towel to it and just kind of splotch it up to remove the puddle, and then go again to kind of over that space to kind of clean it up a little bit better. For the last step with the watercolors, I take some blue to my watercolor brush, and I'm just going to tap some watercolor splotches onto the whole left side of the page. And this is, you know, just for funsies. You don't have to do it, but it was just another layer of fun spots. And then I'm going to dry this whole page. You could also do them in pink. I just did them in blue so it would show up more, but you could do pink, and that would leave some purple spots on top of the blue. Now I'm going to go back over these stars, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing it so it looks like a doodle effect. So sometimes I'm straight on the lines and sometimes I'm veering away from the lines, so it adds like a second line around it. And so the way that I accomplish this is I just go over it really fast, and I'm not being like slow and careful, but I'm just kind of doing it quickly so that if I veer off, even better. And sometimes I do it intentionally where I don't have them meet up at the same place. So I'm being kind of sloppy with it to give it that doodle effect. Also, another thing that you can do with this is if you did go into the stars a little bit with the color, this is a great way to cover that up by just putting a black line over the color part. I am going to go in with my clear sticker with the words, and I'm going to put them on the left side of my page, and I'm just going to line it up so that it's in the middle, using the lines to make sure that it's straight. Now I'm going to use a stapler and the tab, and I'm going to just put a couple staples on this tab before applying it. And then I don't have to be stapling through my actual scripture page. And then I'm going to add some Adtech craft tape on the back and attach it to the top of my page. So I'm going to add these word stickers at the bottom, and I am going to start backwards, if that makes sense, so that I have the spacing where I want it to be. So I'm starting close to my binding and working my way out, and I'm just putting a little space in between each one because I want these to be offset from the tab at the top, so it's in the opposite corner at the bottom, just for aesthetically pleasing purposes. But if you want, you could put these up at the top right below the tab, or somewhere else on your page, but this is where I chose to put them on my page. Last but not least, I'm going to use this black gel pen, and I am going to draw little stars and little dots around the page. You can outline them or you can fill them in, whatever you prefer. And this just adds a little bit more to taking the stars out of the text area and adding them to other places around your page, so that it just makes it a little more cohesive. And usually you want to keep them in sets of 3 or like odd numbers and of varying sizes. And that's going to be it for this page. I hope you guys had fun watercoloring and doing this technique where you're starting off with a wet base and then adding the watercolor to it. All of the supplies you need can be found in this month's kit down at the bottom. Be sure that you are subscribed so that you can stay up to date on all of our latest video releases, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!